Why archetype cards and tarot cards can be used psychologically and when they stop being helpful. So when archetype cards or tarot cards are used in Jungian or therapeutic sense, they're not tools of prediction. They are tools of reflection. And this distinction matters because the same object, a deck of cards, can either support psychological insight or pull someone away from reality and agency. The difference is how and why they are used. So, the Jungian foundation, symbols speak where logic cannot. The psychological basis for working with symbolic cards comes from Carl Jung, who believed that unconscious mind doesn't communicate through logic. It communicates through images, symbols, myths, archetypal patterns. Jung observed that across cultures and centuries, human beings independently created the same symbolic figures: the hero, the trickster, death, rebirth. Tarot imagery fascinated him because it was archetypal. And to Jung, a tarot card was not a message from the universe. It was a mirror. What is actually happening when a card resonates? When someone pulls a card and says, "This feels so accurate," something very specific is happening psychologically. The process looks like this. The rational controlling mind relaxes, emotionally charged image enters awareness, unconscious responds with associations, and this is projection. It's not prediction. The card does not contain information about your life. It activates information already inside you. That is why two people can pull the same card and experience it completely differently. Why this can feel like magical? Well, because people often describe this experience as magical because it's sudden, it creates emotional recognition, but psychologically, it's the same mechanism behind free association, art therapy, narrative meaning making. The unconscious recognizes itself in the symbol, and recognition feels powerful, which feels magical, but there's no supernatural explanation. Why tarot readings on TikTok are so addictive. And the same themes come up. Why is he silent? He's thinking about you. There's strong connection. They want to reach out, but they're scared. These themes work because they sit directly on attachment anxiety. They offer emotional containment, closeness, temporary certainty, relief from ambiguity, and most importantly, they remove the need for direct contact with reality. There's no conversation, boundary, disappointment, just meaning without any action. Why silence and avoidance are the most popular themes? Well, because the obsession with questions like, why is he silent, exists because silence is psychologically unbearable for many people. Silence triggers abandonment issues, unresolved attachment wounds, loss of control, helplessness, you name it. Tarot language fills the silence with a story, and that story feels safer than reality. When card use becomes psychologically unhealthy? Well, here's the critical part that often gets ignored. Card work becomes unhealthy when it replaces reality testing, direct communication, emotional tolerance, and personal responsibility. If you check readings daily, search multiple readers for reassurance, feel anxious without external interpretation, delay decision waiting for signs, then you're no longer using cards for insight. You're using them to regulate anxiety externally. And this is where dependency forms. So the core risk is that you are outsourcing authority. The biggest psychological danger is not belief in symbols. It is outsourcing authority over your life. When a person starts asking, what do the cards say I should do? What is he thinking? Should I wait? Is this meant to be? You slowly stop asking, what do I feel? What do I need? What does reality show me? What aligns with my values? So you become avoidant. How can you use cards in a healthy, grounded way? Well, first of all, use them for reflection, not direction. Healthy questions sound like, what part of me is activated here? What emotion am I avoiding? What pattern am I repeating? What does this symbol evoke in me right now? Unhealthy questions sound like, what will happen? What is he thinking? Is this my destiny? Well, and also I recommend to limit frequency because cards should be used occasionally, intentionally, with integration afterward. Daily or compulsive use signals high anxiety, which can be regulated in other, more healthy ways. So after pulling a card, the most important question is, how does this connect to my actual behavior and choices? Insight without action becomes fantasy, and it can be not so good. Cards should increase agency, not reduce it. Healthy card experience makes you feel more grounded and more responsible for your choices. Unhealthy one leaves you feeling dependent, frozen, obsessed, and maybe waiting desperately. So the bottom line is that archetype cards and tarot cards are powerful, and you need to use them consciously. Then they activate your unconscious, they illuminate patterns, and they deepen self-understanding. When we use them unconsciously, they replace reality and reinforce avoidance. And also they weaken self-trust. They are mirrors, they are not maps. And the moment cards start replacing your relationship with reality, it's time to put them down and ask, what am I afraid to face directly? That question is always more powerful than any card. Let me know if you are using cards and how it makes you more mindful and more in reality. Take care.